Cooking while sober is a sin. Hey, what's going on, guys? So this time I'm doing a drunk cooking video, and I haven't done something like this, so let me know what you think. So for this first episode, I'm making a Hungarian mushroom soup. And so this is a recipe that I've made multiple times. I really enjoy it, and I want to give you a heads up. So I'm putting the original recipe that I've made multiple times that I created myself that I really enjoy on the screen. And if you watch any further into the video, you will notice that I ruin everything. So this is a drunk cooking video. As you can clearly see me holding up that adult beverage. And so everything that I do in this video is very different than the original recipe. And by that I mean I forgot a lot of the ingredients that I needed. And I ruined everything, but it still turned out alright, as you'll see in the end. And so you want to start with whatever mushrooms you have. I usually use about 1.5 pounds of mushrooms. This time I got some cheap stuff from the store, and then also I got this nice bouquet of mushrooms from one of my coworkers. She gave me some really fancy stuff, so I'm going to use this. It's probably a little bit more mushrooms than I normally need for this recipe, but I'm going to use everything that I have because, like I said, I was given it for free, so I can't complain. Might as well use everything I have and make it pretty good and very filling. So I start by cutting these up, just decently thin slices, just enough to where you can throw them all in the pot. They all get a little bit of color. I'm using many different types of mushrooms. As you can see here, I'm using some really fancy stuff. I'm using some cheap stuff that's already cut up. These ones I'm just going to slice decently thin. These little bouquets of mushrooms like these ones, I don't know the names of any of these, so forgive me for that. But these ones I'm going to cut just roughly a little bit thinner than they already are, break them up a little bit. It's okay if some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. They're all going to get cooked in, you're going to eat them anyway, and they're going to taste great. So these ones, just a really rough chop, not really following any directions on these, throwing them all onto a plate, just kind of making it look nice for the video, of course. And there's some really weird ones in here. I don't really know what I'm using a lot of the time. Maybe with any luck, some of these will be magic mushrooms and I'll feel something. I just want everybody to know that while I was filming this video, my toilet, something came unattached, and I ran upstairs and there was water shooting all over the wall and just flooded my bathroom. So you're gonna start by throwing in a bunch of butter. I start with 6 tablespoons, which is roughly what this is, and you'll see me throw in more later. Yeah, this recipe does call for 1 cup of a dry white wine, which I've used in the past and turned out really well. I just moved into a new place and I don't have that. So because this is drunk cooking, we're gonna use some tequila. Straight from Mexico. It does call for 1 cup of dry white wine, but instead of that I used a tequila from Mexico because it's all I have, and you know what, why not? I can't complain. I couldn't taste it at the end anyway, so it's not a big deal. It could be way worse. Throw everything in the pot, give them a nice little stir, mix them all in with the butter. Doesn't really matter what kind of mushrooms you use, as long as you mix them all in, you cook them to a good point. You get a little bit of color on them is a very important part of this. Here's my little mushroom tattoo, because I really like mushrooms. I'm not talking about drug kind, I just think mushrooms are badass. Have you ever seen wild mushrooms just in the forest or something, like when they're growing out? Oh, too much butter, oh darn, I threw it in. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to buy a lot of ingredients for this, so this is gonna be scuffed as hell. But you know what, baby? Drunk cooking. Today I'm drinking this black currant cider from Meriwether Cider Company in Boise, Idaho. A very good company. If you like cider, I highly recommend them. This is me giving a thumbs up when I'm making these mushrooms and showing you that I am cooking them. Now, while you're waiting for those mushrooms to cook, you want to play some games on Steam. You want to load up whatever your game is you're playing, whatever you enjoy, and make sure you win. Whatever in the world you're playing, whether it's a good game, a bad game. This is a game that I enjoy, but it's a bad game. And I don't care what you play, honestly, just win, because the more you win, the better your mushrooms are gonna taste. Victory, baby. Now, I was supposed to throw in a lot more, but like I said, I didn't remember anything. This is the chicken broth that I'm throwing in. I had written down chicken stock, but as far as I'm concerned, they're the exact same thing and nobody can convince me otherwise. I throw in about half a cup of tequila instead of a full cup of dry white wine because it's all I have. I spill my pickle juice and then I dump in a very, very rough amount, which is probably way more than I should have. That was supposed to be 4 tablespoons, that was probably way more. Then as for the soy sauce, I chose the low sodium one because salt, why not? Well, less salt, why not? And then for the chili flakes, I meant to add this whole thing, and then I started getting pissed off because it wouldn't come out of the jar. God damn it! And so I'm gonna shove my finger in there and try and get it all out, and then I got real mad, so I'm like, you know what, f this. I just grabbed the habanero sauce from my fridge and hope that did around the same thing. And then this garlic I was supposed to throw in with the mushroom so that it got a little bit of color too, and I completely forgot about that, so I'm just throwing in some raw chopped up garlic into the mix and hoping for the best, I guess. Give that a nice little mix, definitely looking like a broth right now. I was supposed to add in lemon juice, but instead I just bought a lemon because it was cheaper and I'm never going to use lemon juice after this. So cut those up, make it look nice for the camera as an absolute necessity. And then make sure you don't take the seeds out of them, because if you do, that would make things too easy, and I want to be picking seeds out of my soup, I guess. Cut the cilantro, cut it a couple more times, and then make sure you show the camera because we're making a YouTube video and nobody wants to see my hand in the way the whole time. Forget to throw the lemon juice in. Well, forget to record throwing the lemon juice in, so show that I kind of did that afterwards. Throw in the rest of the milk that I added, 1 cup of milk, and pretend that I just added it right now on film because I also completely forgot to record that earlier. Give that a nice little mix. See that milk going in there, making it a little bit creamier, giving a little bit of color to it, a little bit of thickness. And at this point, it's honestly looking real nice. Then let it simmer a little bit. You're gonna see those oils on the top. It's all gonna mix in really well. And then listen to me complain about whatever the I was complaining about at this point. But listen to the recipe on the screen at the beginning. Do not follow what I was doing. I have made this recipe multiple times and it's one of my favorite foods ever. But this is a really, really bad example of what it is supposed to be. And then back to the soup, because that's what you're here to watch, I think. So this is what it's looking like right now after I sat down, played my game, won a couple games, and made it taste better. You're gonna grab your Naruto bowl because that's all I have at the moment and I didn't buy any more bowls. Start throwing it in the bowl with the only soup spoon thing that I have because I don't have a ladle. Put it on the counter and then cut to the next part because the bowl was too hot for me to hold. Get a nice little scenic shot of it next to my alcohol. Throw some cilantro on it to make it look a lot fancier than it actually is. It's kind of just a bowl of at the moment, but you know what, with cilantro on there it actually looks real nice, so we'll take it. You're gonna grab your cinnamon roll because you're an awesome person and you absolutely deserve to have a cinnamon roll, along with your Hungarian mushroom soup because nothing goes better with Hungarian food than cinnamon rolls and sugar. Throw some of that gooey white stuff on the top, make it look all nice and fancy for the video. Throw it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds or so. Another 30 seconds or so just to make it all melty and delicious. And then throw it right in front of the camera and talk to the camera for the next 5 minutes to tell them exactly what you think about it. Chug your alcohol just to prove that you're an alcoholic, and then give your review. This one really doesn't matter, I just really want to bite of this cinnamon roll. Tastes like a cinnamon roll. Now for a bite of mushroom soup. Alright, so honestly that didn't turn out bad. I will absolutely eat this whole bowl. I do really like this. So the difference between what I did and the recipe that I put at the beginning, this is not quite as creamy as it should have been. Very much does taste like a soup, like a stew basically. But I do actually really like this. I will definitely eat all this. Yeah, I really like that. It's not the same thing as I've made in the past, So this one, as opposed to the recipe that I posted, this one is more soup-like, if that makes sense. This very much does taste like mushrooms. It has like that bitterness, or like the little bit of sourness of like the lemon and the other stuff that I added to it, the pickle juice and everything. It turned out really well still. And that's what I love about this recipe, is you can mess around with it multiple times. You can change so much stuff about it. You can forget the ingredients like I did, but it's still solid. If you like mushrooms, you will like this. It's definitely spicy. It really is. I really enjoy that part. I put hot sauce on everything. It's something that I could put on literally every single thing that I eat. As one of my best friends once told me, that still sticks in the back of my mind today, cooking while sober is a sin. Like, you know, you want to have fun with it. It takes a while to cook some of this stuff, so having a drink, playing games, doing whatever you want to do while you're cooking makes a very, very big difference. And so this video is absolutely scuffed as This recipe is very heavily based on Modern Proper's recipe online, and so this is one that I made myself. And like I said, if you make it the way that I planned to in the beginning, if I didn't everything up, this would have been great. And it still is, I'm not gonna lie. I do really, really enjoy this, but it would have been better doing it the way that I had planned to and the way that I have in the past. This right now, I would give probably a 7.5 out of 10 if I had to rate it. It is good. I could have made it better. I have made it better. But forgetting the ingredients, drinking while cooking, and f***ing it up definitely affected that a little bit. And if you guys like this, let me know. Definitely comment. Tell me anything you want to say. You want to roast me for cooking like an absolute let me know, and maybe I'll do better next time, or maybe just make a completely sober cooking video. You never know. So thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.